Hi, my name is Cameron Carlson with AnimeLocation.tv. I'm here at Ohayocon 2023 with my good pal, Mr. Richard Epcar. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Cameron?
I'm okay. You know, it's been a while since you and I had the chance to talk. It was at MatsuruCon 2016. Yes, I did. I had a. I think I had
steampunk.
I think I had my Dublin hat on. I had my Guinness hat.
Well, Ellen and I did a convention in Dublin not long ago, and we loved it over there. So there you go.
I didn't go. I just bought it at a Walmart.
Oh, okay. A Walmart in Ireland.
So, we're going to follow up with the time in 2016. We had talked about Kingdom Hearts, and since then, number 3 has finally come out as of 2020.
Kingdom Hearts.
So,
okay.
now that it's come out, you've now hit the final third thing of Kingdom Hearts here. How was it like coming back playing Xehanort and tying all that up?
Well, I was Xehanort, but I was also Ansem.
Right.
And Ansem, as we know, I shouldn't give any. If you haven't played the game, I won't give it away. But
not too many big spoilers.
Yeah, we won't give a big spoiler, but it was great. It's always great playing him. He's a wonderful character. I hope he does come back somehow. That's a big spoiler. I just gave the whole thing away, didn't I? But anyway, no, I hope. I believe I will be back in some of the other Kingdom Hearts. I hope so. They seem to like me, and I like them, and it's been a wonderful. I got to tell you a quick. Do we have time for a quick funny story?
Sure.
The first one I did, Billy Zane did the first one, and then after that, whatever happened, they hired me to do it. Now, the reason they hired me to do it was because the guy in Japan that does Ansem does the voice of Batou in Ghost in the Shell. So the Japanese producers asked the Disney producers, who in America does the voice of Batou, and they said Richard Epcar, so they hired me. Now, that's one of the few times in my career that they've actually hired me. I've done over 1,200 characters, and I can count on one hand maybe the times they've hired me without an audition, and that was one of them. So anyway, I go in there. I'm going to make it quick for you. I know it's going on forever. The guys are like falling asleep over there. Anyway, I go in to do the job, and there's 6 Japanese producers and 6 guys from Disney in there, and I do a line, and the engineer comes on the talkback and says, "Just a minute." And they talk amongst themselves for 5-10 minutes, and then they come back. They say, "Could you do that a little slower?" So I do it a little slower. They go, "Just a minute," and they talk amongst themselves for 5-10 minutes. "Can you do that a little faster?" And this went on all day, and I was ready to jump off a cliff. Finally, we got a break, and I pulled the engineer aside. I said, "How did Christopher Lee put up with that?" He said, "Oh, they did it to him once." And he said, "All right, I'm going to tell you how we're going to do this. I'm going to read this script from the top to the bottom, and then I'm going home." And I thought, oh my God, is that great or what?
Yeah.
So now that I've done a bunch of them, about 7 or 8 of them, I guess maybe I can do that too. But they leave me alone now. After the second one, after the first one I did, which was the Kingdom Hearts 2, they've left me alone.
It sounds like they have a good time with you when you're in the booth.
Oh yeah.
So another fun game that you get to happen to voice is Mortal Kombat, playing Raiden and Joker.
Undertake you.
How has it been doing those voices for over now, a couple of games? I mean, you've been doing Joker for
15 years. 15 years. It started with Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe, and I love those guys to death. They, they cast me in 2 of my favorite characters, and I just love those characters. And I hope there's more. I really do. I miss it when I don't do those guys. I just love them so much.
My favorite is the friendship with Joker in Mortal Kombat, where Batman throws the Batarang and gets the gun away from Joker.
Yeah.
That one. And then you go, "Come on, Bats! Come on, Bats!" So the best part is, another fun thing is that, again, we talked about that you like to do live action. The fun part is you happen to work on a film by Matt Glass, a movie made in literally 48 hours called Disconnected. How did that project go?
That was amazing. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but oh my God, yeah, we did it in 2 days.
Right.
I play the lead in it. And it's online. It's called Disconnected. Thank you. Yes.
It's a little hard. It's a little hard to find. You have to type in Matt Glass Disconnected to find it.
That rat. He didn't put in Richard Epcar. But anyway, not that I'm bitter.
But you are on the cover.
I am on the cover. But no, it's a wonderful. They put this thing together, and it was incredible. And they shot it beautifully, and we did everything. And I don't know how they did it. We shot it. They edited it. They put music to it. They did. Oh my God, it was insane. Yeah. And I think it came out beautifully. So, my buddy Lex Lang is in it. He plays one of the guys in there, and so yeah, we had a ball with those guys, and it was really great. Really one of my favorite on-camera things I've done.
Yeah, so speaking of live action films, you've also been a bunch over the years. How do you keep yourself in good mindset when working on them, knowing about how long, wait times between shots and scenes can take? How do you keep yourself, motivated to keep going, working on a set?
Well, the easiest thing is that when you have a trailer, you just take a nap. That's the best thing. That's the best advice I can give to an actor, because most of the time, especially if you're a newbie, you have so much anxiety, and you're just sitting there thinking. You think too much about everything. So I think it's better you just take a little nap and you walk around, and don't think too much about what you're doing. And then once you get in position, there's plenty of time to do your lines and do all that stuff, and you can do all that. But it's great. Listen, I love it all. I've been so fortunate, so blessed to do on camera, to do voiceover, to do all this directing. I work with my wife on a lot of projects. She brought me into a lot of stuff. There she is over there taking a bow. She's doing pirouettes now. She's also a ballerina. She does it all. And I'm sure she told you about Life's a Bitch, the show we do together, which is a very fun show. Please watch it on YouTube and like it. And we want to do more of those. And hopefully we'll do some more with. It's with me and Ellen Stern and Stephen Tobolowsky. It's a great, great show. And Ellen writes all of them and produces them and makes me her slave, basically. So, now she's dancing away over there now that I don't know what she hears music in her head wherever she goes. So anyway, yes.
So, going back to voice acting and getting to come back to a role, just like Ellen said, we talked about the Bleach. Yeah. You get to come back as your character as Ichigo Zanpakuto. What's it like? I mean, in all honesty, I'm 35, okay? Yeah. I started watching that show when I was 18.
I know.
So it's almost 20 plus years of my life has been dedicated to Bleach. So what's it like for you? You're a much, we're not gonna lie, we're all much younger back then.
Yes.
So how do you keep, he's a pretty intense character. How do you keep it going?
I've been very fortunate in that a lot of the shows that, we did way back in the day, like in the 80s, have come back. And this is one of those shows. And, I play Yuha, which is the evil villain of the piece. And I play Zangetsu, as you mentioned earlier, who was in the original Bleach, who is Ichigo's master. And so it's just so much fun to revisit these characters. I've been doing like Jigen and Lupin the Third for 20, 30 years now. It's crazy. And, it's so much fun to be part of a franchise that you just keeps on giving. I just love that. So, yeah, we love it. And, I put that cast together for Lupin the Third, and we keep on rocking it. And we are basically the official cast now. And I've been told we're more popular than the original Japanese cast.
Wow.
I hope this doesn't air in Japan. They might hate me after this, but no, I've been told that by the bigwigs. So I'm really happy about that. And like I say, it's always nice to be working on these shows that you get to return and play these characters that you love. It's always fun to do new characters and try something different. But a lot of these characters, they have a place in my heart, and I love to revisit them and keep doing it. So it's great.
And I like hearing it again. Now, again, you've been part of the industry, as we said with her, for over 40 years. And
I'm only 35, so I don't know how that happened. But
and we discussed the biggest turning point that she discussed was the Pro Tools.
Yes.
What would you say is your turning point that you saw in the industry? Pro Tools is a pretty big moment, but what would you say is one of your big moments?
Well, it is true. I mean, the technology definitely has improved tremendously. When Ellen and I started in this business, this is why they called it looping, because they used to loop the film, and you'd have to get it in sync. And once you got it in sync, then they would move on to the next loop. But now, they can compress it, they can expand it, they can move it left or right, and they can fit it in the lips. Also, the big thing is we didn't have beeps back in the day. We just had to fly by the seat of our pants. You had to look at the time code, and basically now she's hopping around like a Meshuggah. I don't know what she's doing over there. Anyway, so you had to grab those time codes, and you had to do it. So it was a very different kind of thing, but I believe because, Ellen and I started that way, I call it combat dubbing, what we used to do. But we're really on top of it. These kids today, I tell you, they have all the advantages. So they have, they have the beeps, they have the Pro Tools, and honestly, I think it's a little bit easier because now the good thing is you can concentrate on the character. You don't have to worry about that other crap, and you just basically kind of do your thing. So, as far as the acting, it makes the acting even better. So, yeah, that's a good thing.
Nice. Now, a fun little question at the end is things when you are playing a villain versus a hero, what mindset, how do you mentally approach those characters? Like, when we said with Raiden, he's a good character, Joker's technically a bad character. How do you mindset yourself for when you have to do the hero versus villain in the same show, or or when you're just, villain for one show or hero for another?
I can't remember who told me this, but it was early on in my career. No, it wasn't you, honey. It wasn't you. But somebody basically said, acting is kind of like jumping in a pool. You just have to go for it. You just have to. Now she's jumping like a frog over here. Anyway, you just have to dive in and go for it. And I love playing villains. I love playing heroes. The great thing about doing the Raiden Joker thing is it's literally yin and yang.
Right.
You're playing this really noble, honorable character, and then you're playing one of the most despicable characters in all of the English language and literature and everything. It's just wonderful. And listen, as I said, I'm very honored. When I started out in this business, because I have a very distinctive voice, they would cast me. I'd get the same stuff over and over again. I'm so delighted as I get older and older. They keep throwing more and more diverse characters at me and more character, and I get to be more creative and I get to do all kinds of stuff. Now she's throwing stuff at me. She's off the hook right now. I'm telling you, she's lost it.
Well, when you see her first answer to her first question, you'll know that you both have been in love for over 43 years.
She's jiggling like a pickle over there. I don't know what the hell she's doing. Anyway, yes. What?
So wrapping things up.
We have been married for over 40 years. That's true.
Yes.
We've been together for over 40. Now she's sweet to me, but in the room she beats me. Call the police.
Because actually the roles that I know you guys for was when you guys were in your 20s.
Yeah.
When you guys worked on the old Robotechs in the middle of the night. Because remember back in the day, the Robotech, they didn't want you guys working during the day, so they had you guys working, 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. in those swapping rooms, and
we
you guys are
a little baby, and Jonathan was our son, John, he goes by now, but we used to take him with us, and Ellen would go in one booth, and I would go in another booth, and there was a guy there at the studio. He would watch Jonathan for us when we were recording, and those were great times. They really were. But we were going, who the hell's going to see this thing? Well, apparently a lot of people saw it. And I had a guy come today at the booth. It was fantastic. He and his girlfriend were dressed up in Robotech uniforms, and he brought the steak that Ben Dixon never got to eat because he went up and he got killed. So, I got to say something quick about that. That was a big deal. It's not a big deal now, but when we did that, cartoon characters never got killed.
Right.
So when I read, and we never get to see the scripts until we're in the booth. So when I'm reading this, I go, wait a minute, what? He dies? What you didn't tell me he dies? I was like, kind of pissed, but anyway, he died. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
And people went nuts because, like I said, nobody ever died in a cartoon before. So that was like a big deal. So that changed everything. And it made it more realistic, and it upped the the ante.
Yeah.
So a lot of people apparently were very, very impacted by that show, and I've met a lot of people over the years, still to this day, who come up to me and say, "I joined the military because of Robotech." So they come up to you too? Yes.
So wrapping things up, are there any upcoming projects that you can talk about? Because we understand NDAs. That you want fans to see that are available.
Bleach is wonderful. I'm working on that. I just did a bunch of games. One of the games is Monster Hunter. I play the Admiral in that.
Yeah.
And actually, they took my voice at the end of Tar. If you see that movie Tar, at the end of Tar, there's a speech at the end of the movie. That's me as the Admiral in Monster Hunter.
Oh.
So yeah.
I have to.
Who is this woman?
I'm in.
Get on. If you're an actress, you can smell a camera. Step over. Take a step to your left there. Not in the camera. Come over here. They can't see you over there.
Actually,
Can you see her?
we're watching Tar, and he said.
Tar.
I said that.
I thought you said Todd.
No, I said Tar.
Capricorn in our
I
house?
said Tar. I said Tar.
All right, we're watching Tar.
And it's the very end of the film,
Yes.
and Richard goes, "That sounds like me," and I said, "No, it is you."
It was me, and I didn't know
It
it was
really
because
was.
They took it right off of Monster Hunter.
Now, so now that you're here, where else can we follow you online, and a message you'd love to give to the fans that have been keeping up with you for over 40 plus years?
Well, I'd just like to say thank you very much, and we love you guys, and we have the greatest fans in the world, and we really appreciate it. You can please come and see me on Instagram and follow me on Instagram.
Oh, your Facebook, you have two of those.
Facebook, we have two Facebook, and I got two fan pages on Facebook, and we're on Twitter.
He's got a page that says Richard Epcar.
Right.
Then he has a page that says Richard Epcar too. So technically, that means that he's a polygamist, and I'm married to two
I think
men.
you're the polygamist because you're married to two different Richards.
We love having both of you. Thank you so much for coming out and talking with me today. Thank you so much.
Our pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.